It's for high-level thinkers. It's a Bible quiz, and I trust our panelists. And we are going to do it in a clockwise manner. Today, Anita said she has prepared, and so she's going to join the quiz. So we are starting with Dinah. Question 1. When Samuel picked David as king, God reminded us that while people look at the outward appearance, what does God look at? Is it our motives, our attitude, our work done on earth, or our heart? What does God look at?
Our hearts.
Yes, that's correct for 3 points. Whoa, I said it. Today's quiz, they're very interesting. Is that to Brian? Brian, today's question, your first question is, what is the last book of the Old Testament? Is it 2 Samuel, Matthew, Zephaniah, or Malachi? Hey, you didn't even wait for me to give you options. And you're already giving me answers. Okay, yes. Okay. So that's a very good answer. Anita, I hear you've been praying for 2 weeks now. So if you get it wrong, hey. Okay, so how many times did God call out to young Samuel in the night as he was lying down in the house of the Lord? Was it 4 times, 3 times, once, or 20 times?
3 times.
All right. Unfortunately, it is wrong. It is 4 times in 1 Samuel chapter 3, verse 3 to 10. 2 weeks preparation.
Apostle.
After Jesus was baptized, Dinah, God said, "This is my son, whom I love, whom I bless, whom I cherish, or whom I have sent."
Repeat the answers again.
Whom I love, whom I would bless.
Start from the question.
After Jesus was baptized, God said, "This is my son, whom I dash. I was going to give you the answer. Is it whom I love, whom I will bless, whom I cherish, or whom I have sent?
Whom I have cherished.
Apostle Wave. It is whom I love. That's found in Matthew chapter 3, verse 17. Yes. So far, only Brian has a perfect record. So let's go on to the next question.
This one will spoil it too.
The next question, it says, what instrument did David play? This one there.
Is it the harp?
Yes. I said Brian is a shark. Okay. Finish this verse from 1 Thessalonians. Anita.
Sorry.
Pray without dash.
Season.
Let me give you the options.
Sorry.
If am I a bad person to take away 1 mark? Impatience. So Anita has 3. So far, Brian is in the lead. So we are put Brian on hold, and we are going to the next round. So we have to do a tiebreaker. A person who gets it wrong, or the first person to give me the answer, would go. I face Brian in the next round. And so, Noah Paul. After Noah got off the boat, what sign did God give him to show his promise to never flood the world again? Was it a dove, an olive branch, a rainbow, or a fire in the bush?
A rainbow.
It was Anita who said it correctly.
It was people.
And so Anita has 3 and 3. So Diana, unfortunately, you have to say goodbye. And let's move to between Anita and Brian. This is the final round of the quiz. And we have 3 sets of questions. Whoever gets the most out of these questions wins. So we are going. Question 1 to Brian. In what languages were most of the Old Testament and the New Testament given in? Are they both in Greek, Greek and Latin, Latin and Hebrew, or Hebrew and Greek?
Hebrew and Greek.
Okay, I think that's correct, because the Old Testament was in Hebrew and the New Testament was in Greek. Anita, your question. Name one of the 5 books in the Bible that contain only 1 chapter. Choose from 1 John, Titus, Habakkuk, Obadiah. At this point, can you get it correct? Okay, so Anita, what do you think is?
1 John.
Oh no, I'm sorry. It is Obadiah. Very sorry. So now the second set of questions. How much of his wealth did Zacchaeus give to the poor? Was it 10%, all of it, half of it, or what he had collected in taxes?
Oh.
I'm sorry, it is half. and this can be found in Luke chapter 19, verse 8. So, Anita, please, you have to redeem yourself so that you'll be on level terms. Because if you get this one wrong, it's going to be very difficult to come back. So, question 3 to Anita. What will be the outcome of honoring your father and mother? Is it that you will live long in the land, you would prosper in all you do, that you would be blessed to the 7th generation, or you would have bountiful crops?
You would live long in the land.
Yes, that is very correct. It is found in Exodus chapter 20, verse 12. Question 14. Fill in this blank. 2 are better than 1 because they can have a good return for their week. If one falls down, dash can help him up. Is it Jesus Christ, God's Spirit, his friend, or his family?
Jesus Christ.
Apostle, this one is wrong. I'm sorry. It is his friend in Ecclesiastes chapter 4, from verse 9 to 10. It is not Jesus Christ in this case, but his friend who would help him to get up. That is why 2 are better than 1. So Anita, this is on pressure because if you win, if you get this question correct, you are going to be the champion of today's quiz. So let me look for a difficult one. Yes. What animal does Moses compare the people of Israel to when speaking to the Lord? Is it sheep, goats, lions, or eagles?
Goats.
Oh no! You got the opportunity and you missed out. It is sheep. In Numbers chapter 27, verse 17. So now it is a bit tense because both of you have only gotten 1 correct. And so it is in sudden death. So let's continue. So this one, I'm going to give you the question. The first person to mention the answer is the one who wins. Where did Jesus grow up after returning from Egypt?
Nazareth.
Hey, it's correct for 3 points. And so Brian has won today's quiz. He's disciplined the girls. He's the only boy out of the 2, but he has been able to successfully overcome. Brian, kudos, you have done well. Try. You have done well. You have done well. So today we are going to have a very interesting personality profile. You're going to get the chance to speak to the first Adventist presidential aspirant in the history of the Republic of Ghana, a Wall Street financial analyst and a pastor. I'm sure many of you have an idea, but for those of you who don't, stay tuned. When we come back on our break, we're going to have an interesting segment with our guest for today.
We want to defy our family's decision and get married or elope. I need advice. What should I do?
Please, what should I do?
How do I tell her I cheated on her months ago? I need help. What should I do?
Okay, so for me, the moment I read the story, the first thing that came to mind was, wow, knowledge is indeed power. Sometimes we go through situations because we have no knowledge of how to go about them.
If you come from a home like that, you are likely to accept anything the outsider would, direct at.
The fact that we had an interesting ceremony where a priest prayed and all of that doesn't mean that magically you have turned into something else.
If he finds his way to God, a Bible-believing church, and he goes and he wants to change, nothing is impossible.
Giving his properties to charity and stuff?
Oh no, why? Okay, I think this is another discussion that we will not end today, so we'll not even go into it.
Real Talk, showing this and every Wednesday at 8 p.m.
You are welcome from the break, and I'm sure many of you are excited to know who our guest is. Our guest is in the person of Pastor Dr. Divine Ayivo. We are very glad to have you here.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here too.
All right. Pastor, some of us were a bit disappointed when a pastor left the cross for the world. What's your take on that?
Oh, that's a good question. A lot of people think like you. But God has different things for us to do in the world. He directs it. Some of the topics you covered led towards that. It's God who chooses a leader for every nation. If the nation is going very bad, sometimes he is forced to pick one of his own people to go, who will listen to him as to how to direct affairs of the nation. I believe you're sure God will not go to Satan to find somebody in his camp to come and do what is necessary for God's people. You remember COVID came? The nation said we should fast and pray to God for deliverance. That means, as diabolical as our society has become, we still recognize the higher authority that is God. So you shouldn't be surprised that the cry of the people has reached to God, and God wants to intervene in the affairs of Ghana by choosing one of his own anointed pastors to go to the battlefield.
Okay, so Pastor, are you saying that we didn't leave the cross and the mission of winning souls for the world?
I'm still preaching. I preached 3 weeks ago in Aflau. I had 15 baptisms.
Okay.
I'm still preaching.
Okay, that's very interesting.
Every morning I send out morning devotion to 300 people.
Wow.
Every day.
Wow. Pastor, that's very inspiring and encouraging. So can you please tell us about yourself? How did you grow up, and how has it shaped you to become the man you are today?
Well, that's a very good question. I grew up village life. You know how you go, you never had those experiences where you get up and walk a mile to go fetch water. I would go with a little tea kettle and follow them and come back. We did that every morning. I grew up like that in the village. When we finally moved to Accra, my mother was a teacher. I lost my father when I was 6. I don't live in small houses. Because of that experience. I like 6-bedroom houses. I like semi-mansions. I love Mercedeses, Suburbans. So I lived very large until I was kidnapped. When I was kidnapped, I didn't want to die. Life was so good. So I prayed to God. I said, God, if you save me from this, I'll become a pastor. I'll be a good pastor. So he saved me. They didn't kill me. So I gave up my business. I went to the seminary. I planted 2 churches in the seminary because I was a good pastor. I have to prove to God I'm going to live it. So God has been good to me until this calling, which we're waiting to see how God is going to do it.
All right. So, Pastor, if I'm getting it right, you left Wall Street to go to the seminary.
No. I've left Wall Street to start my own business.
Okay.
And it was during my own business that I was kidnapped.
Oh, okay.
And I left my own business to go into seminary.
Pastor, what kind of business was it?
Taxis. I had 50 yellow cabs. You wouldn't know what it is, but taxi cabs in New York City. I had pension funding. I have a little microfinance thing. I had insurance business. So all that combined.
Wow, I see. That's very interesting. So after you went into missionary work, how did you find your way back to your roots, which is Ghana?
Oh, it was God-led. Because I was very comfortable in the U.S. Life was good. But then in a dream, I was asked to come back to Africa. What I was coming back for, I didn't know. But when I was kidnapped, I made a covenant with God that I was a dead man, that this life belongs to him. However he wants it, that's how he's going to get it. So that impression brought me here. And I came.
Okay, so if I'm getting you correct, since you were kidnapped, everything that you've done in life has been God-led.
Yes.
So your decision to go for political aspirations was God-led.
Yes.
It wasn't your own decision.
No. I was happy in my church. You knew that. I came to work every day. Every day I did some Bible study someplace.
I see.
So it's God-led. I had no difficulty to run away to politics. No.
Okay, so but you said it was God-led. You were not successful in your bid to become president.
Yes.
As at now.
Yes.
Did God leave in the cold?
No. You know, God works in mysterious ways. Politics in Ghana, you have to buy your votes. You have to bribe. You have to connive. It's like you're stealing. The very things that I, as a pastor, I am against, I was confronted with to do. And I refused to do it.
Praise the Lord.
I had to, Congress Day, you have to literally pay the delegates to vote for you. You're buying it. If God is doing it, why would I be buying it? Why would I be doing something wrong so that God's purpose can be fulfilled? It's never right. You can never do wrong for the right reason.
No.
A Christian cannot do it. So I have done my part and going on media, talking, campaigning. I did all that I was supposed to do. My posters from here to Bolliger. I went to Bolliger myself. I did all what I was supposed to do. But Congress night, Congress Day, is a day of bribery. It's a day of ungodliness. And I couldn't participate in it. I'm a pastor. If God wants to do something, allow him to do it. David didn't need a gun. He didn't even need an armor. He didn't need everything that he was supposed to have. He was supposed to be a failure, but with one stone, God did it. So I'm not worried.
Amen. So, Pastor, let's go back to the U.S. How many churches did God use you to start in the U.S.?
1, 2, 3, 4.
4 big churches.
Seventh-day Adventist churches. They're still there. They're running.
Wow, that's very, very interesting.
And he did a lot of things for me. Let me share one with you. There was a church, my last church in North Carolina. The church was an old school building, so water was coming in, and they closed the church. For 4 years, I was transferred there. They wanted to introduce me in a Methodist church. I said no. I'll be introduced in that church. They said the church is closed. Which part of the English didn't you understand? The church is closed. I said, fine, can I look inside at least? I went in there. We had a week for my installation. The church refused to give me money to fix it because they had spent over $300,000 on it and it was still leaking, so they've abandoned it. But for that 1 week, the Lord fixed that church for me to be introduced in the church.
Wow.
It's a story building. 3 months after my installation, I constructed an elevator inside the building. It's still there now. So I know the God I serve. He does impossible. The elevator shaft was supposed to be built by engineers. They wanted 170,000 just to build the brick shaft. I took the plan from them and I built it myself. I built it myself and they came to inspect it. They said it was very good. That's God. My God can do whatever he wants to do.
Wow, that's a very interesting perspective. I've come across stories that tell about how you were teaching people to get their GED.
Oh yeah, I did that.
And even in prison.
Yes.
How did that come about?
Well, in 2005, the U.S. government decided to stop funding for GED program. So high school dropouts, they were just in the street. So I had a little money. I opened up a small school. I had 160 dropouts in my school. Wow. So I teach them. 2 of them were arrested. They were prisoners. They go in and out of prison. And when they got back this time, they were very remorseful. So the sheriff spoke to them, said, why are you guys not excited? Because you're always here. Why is it like this time you two are like, you staying to yourselves, you're trying to steady what? And so we have a teacher in town, Pastor Divine. We go to his school, and for the first time, we are learning. He said, you are learning? He said, yes. He said, tomorrow I want to meet Pastor Divine. So I was in school, and then the sheriff came with his siren and stuff, and we were all thinking there's trouble. Because there, when you're black, you're always in trouble. And he came, and he saw my students, people in class, people were studying seriously. He said, what is this? I said, school. He said, but these people, these are all my people. I said, I know, but we have to give them a chance to improve. And they are learning? I said, yes. I said, do you mind coming to the prison to teach them maybe twice a week? I'll make you a special classroom. So yeah. So I did that for 2 years. Wow. And every person I graduate, they give them 30 days off their sentence. So some guys went to college, community college, from prison. Wow. I graduated 160 from prison. Not only that, before classes, I pray for them. When I graduate them in my church. They wear a gown for graduation, bring their families, and I preach evangelistic sermons. Everything has to work towards impacting somebody's life for Jesus. So I did that.
All right, that's very interesting.
How did you find that out? I don't talk about those things.
Well, I think the internet never forgets. Brian, do you have any questions for Dr. Ivo?
Yeah, I know Brian to have some.
Okay, Pastor.
Yes.
See, we young guys, most of us are concentrated on the money. So, I want to ask this question. Who is running the business, the microfinance and the car?
Why do you want to run it?
In the United
Oh, I sold them. I couldn't do both. This is in New York. Seminary is in Michigan. That's 13 hours driving. So you give it up. You can't have one foot there, one here. I was afraid of poverty. I took 13 cars to seminary. I was going to run from Bering Spring to Chicago to do some taxi business right there. But the Lord didn't approve it. Money is good. Without money answers all questions, right? But when you look for it too hard and you're not careful, it brings you a challenge between money and God. And it's very difficult to choose. The Lord maketh rich, and the Lord maketh poor. Whatever He has written for you, it will come through for you. Go to your school, be the best. Be the best student you can be. Don't do what everybody else is doing. Let's go hang out here. Let's go do this here. Let's do this here. Everything you're doing there and here and there would not come on your examination paper. Will they ask you how many bumps you did when you went to the club? It won't come up. Nothing will come up but what you are studying, so concentrate on those. You want to have life after school. After you've graduated in whatever, then life is livable.
There's another question I want to ask. So, is God's call a sudden call or is a gradual process?
People will tell you when you're coming up. People will be telling you. I wanted to be some kind of mechanic or engineer, something. I had talents for those. So my mother sent me to a mechanic shop. You know, in my days, we didn't have double track. You have long vacation, which is about 3 months. So they usually send me to some place to go learn something. And always I found myself in the mechanic shop because people think I am mechanically inclined. But come to college, people started telling me I was a pastor. And then when I preached, people like it. Sometimes I wonder what I said. And people come, so we've been blessed. I said, well, you blessed with what? All I did was say what is in the Bible. I didn't do anything. And then Pastor Ewu came to America in those days when I was in business. Now I was driving him around. He preaches in so many churches, so I took him here to here to here to here. And I was riding with him one day. He told me, a church pastor, elder, this church needs you. I thought he was talking about my tithe and offering because my offering was very big. So I said, okay, I will bring them half of my tithe and offering. He said, you're always thinking about money. I said, what else could I be thinking of? He said, they need a pastor. I said, why are you pushing me into this thing? I'm not a pastor, so I'll give you the sermons. You go and read it to them. I said, okay, just do it. That's what started the problem. From 92. Although I was in business, I started 2 churches and worked without pay because I didn't need the little money. I had enough. But work, you have to work hard. Devote, see what your talent is. I always tell this to people. I have 2 talents. Only 2.
Can I guess?
You know them?
Driving and teaching.
Driving and teaching. You've heard me say it in the church. 2 talents that nobody would think is anything. I can drive very well. Even now, young boys cannot challenge me when I'm on the road.
What about Paul Walker?
He can't.
Hey.
You know? And teaching. I can explain stuff to drug addicts in prison and they pass. I start them with books, picture books. This is a boy. This is a girl. No. And within 6 months, they can pass it. So that's my gift. I don't envy anybody's gift. I concentrate on my two. So New York, I left Wall Street to drive a taxi cab. And with the cab savings, I went to college. When I finished, I went back to the cab. Then I went to insurance college to add to that. So with the cab, starting with one cab, I grew it to 50. You know how much money you make?
No.
You want to know? $50,000 a week.
Whoa.
Figure it out.
That was then. So the value.
That's 20 years ago. But 50,000 to 50,000. Even for CDs. So you have to work. You have to work. God will bless it for you. But let it be your talent. Don't worry about what somebody else is doing. Because your talent, God has blessed it, and God will make it work for you. Then you will be successful.
That's very motivational. I feel it's more not a talk show, but it's a very motivational experience. Anita, do you have any questions for Pastor?
Yes.
She couldn't wait. The yes came.
Do you have kids?
Yes, I do.
How many? And where are they now?
They're all in the U.S.
Okay.
One is a banker, one is an biological engineer, and then one works for Best Buy.
Okay, that's interesting. That's all I wanted to know.
Okay, Diana.
Pastor, is your life like your life then? Was it based on only like what you wanted to achieve? So like always education, and going to the mechanic, learning just that, or you had like other activities that you do like to make you happy? Yes.
Oh, okay. I made a mistake. I look for money very hard. Money is such a devil that when you start making it, you start living a certain lifestyle that you're afraid. If you're a self-made person, you don't have support system. It's you. So you're afraid of failing or making a mistake. So you are too anxiously pursuing it. I leave home at 3 in the morning to go to work. I come home at 11. This is every day but Sabbath evening. That's the only time my children see me. Because when I go, they are sleeping. When I come, they're sleeping. They know there's a daddy in this house, but they don't see him or touch him. And Sabbath, before the Sabbath can close, when I finish the Vesper, I take off my pastoral stuff. I'm going to look for money. That's not good. It affected my relationship with my children until we got to seminary. Seminary, I was not hungry for money anymore. So we didn't have a lot of nice things anymore. We gave up the house, 4,000 square foot home. You know, when they are going on trips, they let the bus stop down in the valley. The house is on a hilltop. And everybody looks at their house. They say, that's our house. We didn't have those when I went to seminary. So one day I was like apologetic. I was telling them, you know, I'm very sorry I have to be putting you kids through this. You didn't ask for this, but I promise the Lord I will come here. So things are going to be different. And I know you're not going to like it. They said, no! All of them said no at the same time. I said, what's wrong with these people? Why no? Do you like it here? Yes! I said, what do you like about this place? You! We see you! We can talk to you! I said, Daddy, I really don't know what you look like. So it's like that. Don't be greedy for it. Just live a normal life. You have too much money, you can't even sleep at night. You are afraid. Because of, you don't know who is coming to attack you. You try to get a gun. All those things. So live a normal life. And return your tithe. It helps the church, an offering. Your question.
I have another question.
Okay. Did you ask me one already?
Yes. So at the time you were kidnapped, were you already married or you were now?
Yeah, I had a child.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
I had a little child. That's all part of the prayer. And the handcuff was behind me. I was praying. I wasn't a very good Christian though. So I considered all that. Say, God, if I die now, I might not even make it to heaven. My kid, people would think I was something else. Have mercy on me. I will serve you. Become a pastor. Don't let me die. And he did it. I'm still here.
So how long were you kidnapped?
It was from 2 o'clock to 3, 1 hour.
Just 1 hour.
It sounded like the whole day. No. I was walking out in the afternoon. Every day I go to the bank with 30 to 50,000. Every day. So this day, somebody came to pay a huge money. When money exceeds a certain limit, you have to call the police to come and take it for you. So I called the police that day to take that money, and they took the money. But out of habit, around 2 o'clock, I leave the office so I can breathe regular air, air conditioned every day. So I was walking in the same direction I walk, but without money. So a van pulled up. The van pulled up. It's normal for a van to pull up. But then they came out with guns, 2 guns, and a police badge, and saying, police, police. Everybody was moving out of the way. I was also moving out of the way, not knowing it was me they were looking for. So they came, and I said, you got the wrong man. You got the wrong. They said, shut up. And then they put the handcuff on me and led me to the van. There was no middle seat. They sat in the seat, I sat in the floor facing them. 2 guys were driving, and then they took off. And all I could do was trying to tell them I'm not the right guy. And then they said, where's the money? Then I'd know the money. They know me with money. So who are these people? And I saw I was in trouble. But they searched me and found nothing. They were very furious. And then they drove down the road and made a turn. And they said, well, since you have no money and you've seen our faces, we have to waste you. That means they have to kill you. So they pull the gun and cock it, push it here, and then the Lord intervened. The senior man said, don't do it. And the guy put his hand down. And he turned to me, he said, Divine. That's where it gets scary. That means they know exactly who they picked up. If you go to the police and ID us, you didn't see the face of the drivers. They will come and get you. Safely. Praying God, you know the song I was singing then? Oh, to Jesus I surrender. All to him I freely gave. I will ever love it.
All right. That was a very interesting episode, and I think God needed that 1 hour to take you into ministry. That was a very interesting one. The pastor, as we wind down on the segment of your life, at this point in our world's history and in this current generation, what is your message to young people our age, teens? What's your message?
Teens, you have more temptations now than when I was growing up. More temptations. The girls know that. You see, they're laughing. You know what I'm talking about. More temptation. The guys know that. Even in church, it's not different. So you have to make a self-prayerful determination that you are going to walk with God, listen to your parents, be prayerful, and be a serious person in life. If not, the devil is running the world over. But always think of Samuel. When Samuel's mother took Samuel to Eli the priest, Eli had sons there. The Bible calls them SOBs, not the other one.
Oh.
These are sons of Belial. They do not know God. So here's a person surrounded by people who do not know God and yet was faithful to God. That's your situation. So you could be surrounded by terrible people, but you still hold. Let me tell you a little something. Do you know what KTK is? You never know what KTK is.
Ku Klux Klan.
KTK. KTK is a club. It's a nightclub. When I was growing up, it's at down here. Osu, you know what I'm talking about? No. It's a nightclub. All students go there, including me. You go there at night, they put a little stamp on your finger, you go there, you do your little things and come out. Everybody drank, everybody smokes. I was told from a childhood never to drink, never to smoke. And I did that. Everybody drank. I drank water with a lime on it. And I don't leave it when I'm going to the floor. I always drink all of it. So people wonder how I drink so much. But I'm never drunk. Why? I make that effort not to be like the people I'm around. And when it's midnight, I always step out to pray. God, I'm not supposed to be here, but this is where I am. Watch over me and take me home safe. Don't let me get into any trouble. In Jesus' name, amen. And I go back in the club. I didn't know my friends knew. One day when I opened my eye, amen, they were all surrounding me. They said, we know you've been praying for us. That's why we always pay for you to come. So you be a child of God, regardless of where you are. Be a child of God and be serious with it. Be telling yourself, you are not just any girl. You are not, no, you're a child of God. You're not like everybody else.
All right.
I wasn't, I'll be flag bearer now. If I did all those crooked things, I'll be big now. Your Excellency, Your Excellency. Let God do it His way. So I'm waiting on the Lord.
All right, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
That was a very interesting segment. We are going on a short break, and when we come back, we have the topic of the day, which pastor will help us discuss.
Chaplain.
Hello, Peter.
How do you do?
How do you do?
It's been a while.
Yes, it has.
I hope you're well.
Oh, yes, we are. And what about you?
Doing well, by God's grace.
All right, fine.
Chaplain, this reminds me. The last time at church, you made this presentation about Jesus Christ and God, and there's this question that's been bothering my mind.
Okay, let's hear it.
Who is Jesus Christ?
Okay, so as I said, Jesus is God, and then he is man.
Chaplain, this is rather confusing. I mean, how can God become man? I believe he's either God or man.
Okay, so Peter, we can have the long talk here, but why don't you join me on Hope Bible School?
Hope Bible School?
Yes, Hope Bible School. This is an interactive and in-depth study of the Bible, where Bible students study the Bible to know what it truly means.
Oh, okay. This is good news.
You can invite your friends to watch on TV or online.
I'll tell my friends and family to tune in.
I'm nowhere close to a
Welcome back from the break. The topic of the day is as follows. The current unit in science is a really hard one because of all the theory and scientific terms that you are responsible to know. You and your friend spent 3 hours studying together for the test, ready to give it your best effort. During the test, you notice that Robbie keeps moving her arm, which distracts you from concentrating. Suddenly, you see words written on her underside of her arm. She's cheating. Disgusted, you return to your work and finish the test on time. The next day, the teacher hands back the test scores. You and your friend have each scored 90. Good job. Robbie gloats. I got 98. Brian, what do you say to Robbie?
Well done.
Even though he cheated.
Well done for cheating.
And what would you say to your friend?
God is in control.
Will you report him to the teacher?
Okay. It was your choice for you to cheat. I got an honest mark, and you feel guilty later. So I don't care whether you're happy or you're sad about it, because later you feel guilty about it.
Really? Are you sure you keep quiet? You won't say thing.
I don't mind you.
How would I now?
I want to let
Hey, Pastor, what's your take?
If you see wrongdoing and you do not act, you are an accomplice. You go through life like that. That's what has destroyed this country. We see people stealing from the government, cheating, and we just keep quiet. Until the righteous stand up, evil will continue ruling. Report that nigger to the teacher. Tell this guy is cheating. He cheated. And he will learn from the consequences to stop cheating. He'll be cheating all his life through. He'll become a medical doctor who never passed the test. And then your child will go to him and he will kill your child for you because he's a cheat. Report cheating when you see it.
Well, Pastor, what if this guy's, physically built and you could threaten your life because he could bully you?
We'll go to the police and report that. Right must be done. Right must be done. Wrong must be stood up against. We are trained in this country to be some kind of timid people. So when we see bullies bullying, even in the offices, nobody can say a word. That's why they're lucky the Lord stepped me aside. If not, I'll be on national television pointing out the faults from everything that nobody will say. I will say it. Because that's why I'm a child of God. You're supposed to right wrongs when you see it. If you are not bold as a child, how will you be bold when you grow up? When will you talk? When the whole class cheats and you fail, instead of everybody failing so they can give all of us a break. Cheating is wrong. It must be reported. If I see you cheating, I'll report you myself.
All right, that's very, very interesting, because you know, it's sometimes if you go and report, it becomes awkward. When you didn't see it, when you saw it during the test, you didn't report during the test. Now that the scores have come and then the person has done well, it makes it look like you are looking for the evil of the person. Or
You can report while the test is going on. When you see it, you call the teachers and they say, check this kid out. It's cheating.
Check this kid
That's
out.
it. Don't worry. Don't worry to stand alone. Stand alone. It doesn't matter. Stand on the right and stand alone. The world is changed by people who stood alone. Truth must be told. Come what may. You must tell the truth.
Thank you so much, Pastor. It's very interesting today. I told you today's one is going to be very exciting and indicative. But to wind it up, we have to make some fun. And so
good.
I've gotten some vocabulary, some phrases that are very difficult to pronounce for some of us. So we're starting with Dinah. Please pick something and you just say it. Say it 5 times fast. You just say it quickly. Just pick. And pass it to Pastor. Tongue twisters. Pastor, you know, wait. After Dinah, what do you pick? Prophet prophesied. Dinah, I can't say it for you.
Can you read it?
No. She has to say it fast. Dinah, please try and say it. You dare try.
Prophet prophesied.
It's too slow.
Hey,
increase the tempo.
Take it slow, then you continue. Prophet prophesied prophecies, promising proof. Prophet prophesied prophecies.
Just say it fast.
Prophets prophesied prophecies.
Please, Pastor, please pass the box to Brian.
Brian, please.
Thank you.
Okay, so Pastor, please open it and do us the honors.
Oh, this is very good.
It's very what?
Very good. The Son saved man from staying insane. The Son saved man from staying insane. The Son saved man from staying insane.
Pastor, please, please let us hear you.
The Son saved man from staying insane. The Son saved man from staying insane. The Son saved man from staying insane.
All right. Pastor has passed the test. Brian, over to you.
God gives good gifts of grace. God gives good gifts of grace. God gives good gifts of grace.
Oh no.
God gives good gifts. God gives good gifts of grace.
Right.
God gives good gifts.
Man, you know what? Take it home. Go and practice. Last but not the least, Anita.
Last but
not least. You see, you corrected it. Last but not least.
The Revelator revealed representations of future realities in Revelation. The Revelator revealed representations of future realities in Revelation.
Assignment.
Don't give up. Go.
The Revelator revealed representations, future realities in Revelation. The Revelator revealed.
Okay, so as you see, we have to improve on our diction and how we say things. Because Brian and Anita, now they have an assignment. Next time they come, we'll have to go through the Revelator revealed. Okay, so we share that assignment. Okay, so but generally it has been a nice time with you. It's been a great time. I'm sure you've learned so much from Pastor Dr. Ivo, and we are very grateful to have you on today. God richly bless you. And God bless our panelists, Anita, and you, our viewers. We are so glad to have you, and we hope to see you next week. Stay tuned and be blessed.